So there are so many signs and symptoms. Now remember one thing before we go into the detail of the clinical features. You have understood the topic, right? ये जो साइनसाइटिस है उसके अंदर हमने पहले इटियोलॉजी में ही देखा कि द मेन इटियोलॉजी इज अ नेजल इटियोलॉजी. The nasal etiology is the main thing happens here. Okay, so there are going to be the symptoms of the nose, because 90% of the part plays by nasal etiology. हमने तभी भी अंडरलाइन की थी nasal etiology के अंदर. Okay, so remember 90% of the part is played by the nasal etiology, right? So let's move ahead with the topic. Let's first understand the sign and symptoms. So first is going to be nasal symptoms. Then there is going to be so much pain because it is an inflammation. So you remember the signs of inflammation, right? Pain, Robert Dollar, Collar, functional, Lisa, all that. So pain, then redness, then heat. You all remember that, and goes on. Edema. But here we are not going to see so much edema and so much redness. Why? Because it is not an inflammation on the skin. यहाँ पे स्किन के ऊपर इन्फ्लामेशन नहीं है. साइनस जो है वो अंदर की तरफ है. सो अंदर की तरफ जो साइनस होता है वो पूरा रेड हो चुका होता है, वो इडीमेटस हो चुका होता है. बट वी कैनॉट सी फ्रॉम आउटसाइड. कैन वी कैनॉट. क्लियरली वी कैनॉट सी. अगर स्किन के ऊपर कोई इन्फ्लामेशन चल रहा है, जैसे कि बॉयल हुआ है, या तो फिर कोई इंसेक्ट बाइट, या तो फिर कोई इंजरी, देन वी कैन क्लियरली सी द इन्फ्लामेशन बिकॉज इट्स ऑन द स्किन. स्किन के ऊपर हमें दिख सकता है. बट साइनसेस आर द कैविटीज. वो अंदर होती है, वो बाहर से नहीं दिखती. सो दैट्स वाई वी डोंट सी मच ऑफ अ रेडनेस एंड मच ऑफ अ इडीमा हियर. अंडरस्टैंड दिस. ओके, बट वी डू सी सो मच ऑफ पेन. नाउ वी ऑल्सो टॉक्ड अबाउट अ नेगेटिव प्रेशर इन द इटियोलॉजी. हमने इटियोलॉजी में क्लियरली बताया था कि नेगेटिव प्रेशर होता है यहाँ पे. सो ड्यू टू दैट नेगेटिव प्रेशर देर इज अ सेंसेशन ऑफ हैवीनेस, so much of heaviness, and it produces a clear cut vacuum type of pain. बहुत सीवियर पेन होता है साइनसाइटिस का पेन. पीपल गो मैड. ओके, बिकॉज they, if it is on the skin, you can apply some cream or you can apply some ointment or you can do anything, but it's inside, so you cannot locally do anything, and people just go mad, and painkillers takes some time to subside the inflammation. So this is severe painful condition, and pain is in the region of the maxillary sinus because we are talking about maxillary sinusitis. If it is frontal sinusitis, then the pain would be around the frontal region. But if it is the maxillary sinus, then the pain is around the maxillary region. And there is an anatomical location which we called canine fossa. So basically canine fossa is upper superior to the canine bone. That is an anatomical location superior to the canine bone. There is a depression, and that we call canine fossa, somewhere around here. And at the point of canine fossa there is a particular tenderness. So tenderness at the region of canine fossa. So pain and tenderness are the signs of inflammation. So pain is going to be there, tenderness is going to be there, and as I have said, nasal etiology plays 90% role. So there is going to be so much nasal infection symptoms like change in the voice, like secretion from the nose, okay, like sneezing. So nasal symptoms are always going to be there. Pain is going to be there, tenderness is going to be there, and redness and edema doesn't aren't that much noticeable clearly. इतने अच्छे से नहीं दिखते, but that can be there. Okay, so these are going to be sign and symptoms. mainly यही symptoms होने वाला है. Now let's come back to the PPT. So first there is a discomfort, okay, and then there is a pain in the maxillary region which is presenting complaint. main complaint pain ही होता है, and which radiates to the teeth, to eye, to frontal sinus, and this pain is aggravated on bending down. Okay, so whenever you bend down or cough or you sneeze, it creates turbulence in the sinus, and that's why the pain gets aggravated. So particularly pain is aggravated by bending downwards, coughing and sneezing. Then there is a nasal discharge, as we have already talked about, because 90% of the time there is a nasal etiology. So nasal symptoms like nasal discharge. Then there is a blocking of the nose. Okay, so these symptoms can be there. First the nasal discharge is mucoid, then it slowly gets purulent, right? First mucoid, then mucopurulent, then purulent. And if there is a foul smelling discharge, remember this is important here, if there is a foul smelling discharge, then it is suggestive of dental origin. Generally dental originated infection presents itself with the foul smelling discharge, so do remember that. Now we might have a nasal resonance due to blocking of the nose, dry cough and epistaxis due to congestion. So these all are the nasal symptoms. So nasal symptoms includes blocking of the nose, nasal resonance, epistaxis, discharge from the nose, irritation in the nose. Okay. Then constitutional symptoms like headache, fever and malaise can also be there because it is an inflammation and infection. So constitutional symptoms are going to be there. And symptoms of any other diseases if associated. Suppose you have associated disease of a dental origin, then you are going to get symptoms of that disease also. Or if you have a tonsillitis and then it causes sinusitis, then you are going to have symptoms of tonsillitis, or at least have a history of tonsillitis. Okay, so these are the symptoms. Signs: so there is edema of the affected area, but it is slight edema. Then on the palpation you see tenderness, and tenderness at the canine fossa, as I have told you, right? And in the anterior rhinoscopy you can clearly see the congestion of the nasal mucosa turbinates and especially of the middle turbinates, because मिडल टर्बिनेट के अंदर ही मैक्सिलरी साइनस ड्रेन करता है फ्रॉम द मिडल मीएटस, द maxillary sinus drains, so that's why there is a particularly discharge from the middle meatus. And on the posterior rhinoscopy you can see purulent discharge trickling down through the coena. Coena is the opening from which nose opens into the pharynx, तो वहाँ पीछे की साइड से भी प्यूरुलेंट डिस्चार्ज टिकल कर सकता है. Now investigations. Radiographical investigation is important. It can reveal the haziness and opacity in the region of the sinus and also in the region of nose. Okay, so from the radiography you can make out the diagnosis. Haziness is due to mucosal edema and opacity is due to free fluid. Okay, now if radiograph is performed in the upright position, as the exudate increases the entire sinus become opaque. So अगर upright position में है तो ड्रेनेज अच्छे से नहीं हो पाएगा और जो एक्सुडेट होगा वो पूरा साइनस के अंदर कलेक्ट होगा, एंड दैट एक्सुडेट, दैट secretion will create haziness and opacity. So sinus will become opaque on the radiograph. CT scan, you can also do CT scan if the diagnosis is not clear or if the patient has money, so you can go for CT scan which reveals precise details. Endoscopical examination can also be done, and bacteriological investigation is done to make a smear culture, to make a smear and culture for the antibiotic sensitivity, to choose the particular antibiotics. Okay, so this is a CT scan. Here is the CT scan of the nose, of the face. Okay, and this here, okay, let me make it with different color so that you can see. So here you can clearly see the opacity, right? Here is, you can see opacity in the region of the maxillary sinus. This is a left maxillary sinus. If you sit upright like this, then this portion would be left. So one maxillary sinus is affected. Here you see it's clear, it's all clear. But here you can see opacity. Let me erase all. Right, now you can see here. See, this is clear, and here there is opacity. Right. Okay. Now clinical investigations. See, laboratory investigations are generally done, and clinical investigations are not much of value here. It's not important, and it's clumsy and not done nowadays. Posture test is done to differentiate between maxillary and frontal sinusitis. Okay, so you can only differentiate between maxillary and frontal sinus, not anything more than that. Basically what happens when you are in the upright position, when you are standing, the frontal drainage, the frontal sinus drainage can easily occur because it's in the direction of the gravity, but maxillary sinus drainage doesn't occur. So from that you can do differential diagnosis between these two, but it is not reliable and it is time consuming. Transillumination test is done by placing bulb inside your oral cavity. Just imagine someone putting bulb inside your oral cavity. It is not done nowadays because it's clumsy and unreliable. It doesn't give you specific results. Any accuracy is very low, and we have facility of the radiograph. We can do radiographical investigation very easily nowadays. Now differential diagnosis. Here I have written down differential. It's a typing mistake. So we are talking about differential diagnosis here. Okay, so you need to differential diagnosis. You need to do differential diagnosis with the conditions which are conditions of the face generally, and conditions which are very near to the maxillary sinus, which are neighbors of the maxillary sinus. Okay, like alveolar abscess. So here somewhere here there is alveolar abscess. Okay, and sinus is here. So both structures are very close, and sometimes you might get confused. But in the alveolar abscess you see so much teeth pain. There is a toothache, severe toothache. Okay, and alveolar margins are also inflamed, and you can make out the abscess also. Cellulitis of the cheek presents with the so much swelling of the face. The cheek gets so much red, clearly red, and there is a clear cut swelling. In the sinusitis, in the maxillary sinusitis, as we have talked, that edema is a mild type of edema, not that much severe. But cellulitis of the cheek presents with the big edema and also with the big redness. Furuncle on the face sometimes can be confused, but furuncle on the later stages clearly makes itself very what we can say, it's very identifiable in the later stages. Basically in the very beginning of the furuncle there may be confusion because furuncle may cause pain in the regions around the nose, and the furuncle is, if the furuncle is very new or what we can say, very young, then there may be confusion, but in the later stages you can clearly make out the furuncle. Then angioneuritic edema, it is also called angioedema. Okay, and this condition might get you confused. Basically it is an allergic reaction. This angioneuritic edema is basically allergic reaction, and in that condition your whole face have edema. It becomes edematous and there is so much swelling, but it is generally a painless condition, whereas sinusitis presents itself with the severe pain, but here the pain is very mild in the angioneuritic edema, and there is so much swelling. So edema बहुत ज़्यादा है, pain बहुत कम है, whereas in the sinusitis there is so much pain and very less edema. Sometimes neuralgia can also confuse you, right? But neuralgia के अंदर nasal symptoms नहीं होते, whereas in the sinusitis there are so many nasal symptoms because it drains into the nose. Malignancy of maxillary sinus might confuse you. In the elderly patient, you should make a clear-cut diagnosis of the malignancy. Okay. Temporal arteritis can also get you confused, but temporal arteritis have a pain in the temporal region. Okay. And in the maxillary sinusitis, you have pain in the maxillary region. So that was about differential diagnosis. Complication. Okay, what complication does it cause? So it will generally what it would do, it would spread to the other parts which are surrounded, right? So neighbor के कोई भी structure हो उनको infect कर देगा, and it generally doesn't occurs because this is antibiotics era, right? Although people are getting antibiotics resistance, so you shouldn't prescribe antibiotics haphazardly. You shouldn't prescribe broad spectrum in every damn disease. Whenever you see the infection can resolve, you shouldn't overdose the antibiotics. Okay, so yeah, the complications are less common due to antibiotics, but complication can be there, like pansinusitis. Pansinusitis means spreading of the sinus infection from one sinus to another sinus. So middle ear infection, which is otitis media, can also occur. Pharyngitis, laryngitis, tracheobronchitis can also occur. Ophthalmic complications sometimes can occur, like orbital or periorbital cellulitis and abscess. Osteomyelitis can also occur, and asthma may get aggravated because in the sinus in the sinusitis there is a blockage of the nose, and in asthma you are having difficulty in the breathing, so there can be aggravation in the asthma. Suppose if you are having two diseases, then it is going to be dangerous, and both diseases are diseases of the air tract, involving air tract, not actually air tract diseases. And mucocele is a local complication. Basically mucocele mean collection of the mucous material in the sinus. Okay, so treatment. Now it is an inflammation and it is a painful congestive condition, so you are going to prescribe painkillers, you are going to prescribe antibiotics, and you are going to prescribe decongestants. Now decongestant can be prescribed in the two form. You can prescribe systemic decongestants and you can also prescribe nasal decongestants because there is obstruction in the nose, so you can also prescribe nasal decongestants. Okay. Antihistaminic can also be prescribed with the patient of allergy, right? Local treatment, you give nasal decongestants, as I have said. You can also prescribe steam inhalation. Steam relieves pressure, negative pressure, and steam inhalation also causes decongestant. Okay, decongestion, what I'm saying, yeah. So it can also cause decongestion. Okay, now it is a proper word, I guess. Yeah. Adrenaline sometimes can also be prescribed. Okay, it is applied in the region of middle meatus because middle meatus drains the maxillary sinus. So if you apply adrenaline onto the middle meatus, it helps into the drainage of the sinus. And you can also do surgical procedure like antral puncture, but it is done rarely and it is not a successful type of operation. Okay. And for the prevention, you can remove the predisposing factor like DNS. See, deviated nasal septum makes a person prone to so many nasal infections and also to the sinusitis. So it's better to treat DNS. Okay, because the condition itself doesn't cause any problems, but it can make a person vulnerable to so many infections. So you gotta treat it. And dental sepsis should also be treated so that it doesn't cause sinusitis, right? So yeah, that was it. Thank you so much for watching this video. And yes, please make sure to support me by liking and sharing this video, because uh, this is a small appreciation for me. If you do like and share this video, this is a small appreciation for me. Yeah. And also you can share your views, you can share your suggestions in the comment section. We can connect through the comment section. You can ask for any help, particularly related to the study, okay, not related to anything else. So don't go in the comment section and ask me that what to do to have a girlfriend. No, don't ask that. Yeah, so that was it. And also subscribe my channel so that I get motivated to make more videos like this. So yeah, thank you so much.